Hey folks, just want to make a little video today. The weather around here in Virginia has been crazy. It's either been windy, calling for rain, been a cold snap came through, so just haven't had the opportunity to go fishing. So I've been doing a lot, working with my equipment, cleaning out my tackle boxes, putting new line on my rods and reels and stuff like that. So today the weather's nice outside, nice and sunshiny out here. Not many clouds, but it's still pretty breezy. So I don't want to put the boat in the water just for a couple hours if it's still going to be windy. Tomorrow they're calling for about 51% chance of rain, hit and miss all day. I think we're still going to go try and do it. So maybe we can get out on the water and actually do something. So I want to go over my gear real quick just for a few minutes, show y'all what I've got, what I'm doing, and see what y'all think about some of the stuff I've got in my box. My wife, she loves me to death. Sweet. She knew that I wanted some swim baits. She started looking online and she got me some swim baits for pretty cheap. So I'm real excited about this one I want to show y'all. So we'll get into the boxes here in a second. Alright, first I want to talk about my rods. I have two 4000 series Shimano's. One of them is a 6.5 foot, one of them is a 7 foot. Those I put 20-pound Magnathin on there. I got two of my 2000 series Shimano's. I like the triggers. They're cheap reels, but they last pretty good if you take care of them. Both of these rods are 7 footers. And I use light line on them. I use Stren. Let's see if I can get the glare off of it. 6-pound original monofilament. Like I said, I use a little bit of light line on my stuff. Then I've got my 3 bait casters. And if you notice, I've got all left-handed reels. I've always felt better with the left-handed reels. I got all of them are on ugly sticks. That one's a GX2. I think that's my newest one. But these are all 6.5 footers. So, and on my bait casters, I like to use Power Pro 20-pound. I don't have super heavy cover where I fish, so I don't need to use the 50 or 65-pound braid. I haven't had any fish ever break me off with that 20-pound, so it's good, smooth casting, and I'm really impressed with that that type of line, that Power Pro. I've tried some cheap stuff, and it doesn't pay to use cheap line. So I was able to clean out my tackle boxes. I got 3 boxes. Gave my son my old box because he needed more room, so I gave him my 1 box, and I ended up with 2 new ones. So I did some cleaning out. So let's look in there. What we got the needle nose. You always have to have them. In the top of this box, of course, you got your scale so you can weigh your fish. But I've got all my rage tail baits and some of my extra crankbaits, stick baits, and swim baits, some of the bigger stuff that I've got in here. And of course, all my spinner baits and buzz baits. I even have 1 chatter bait. I need to get more. So I want to try to get into that a little bit more. So that's the top box. Top drawer. I got some extra skirts. I got my frogs right here. Got my topwater spooks. I used a little bit smaller version of Super Spook Junior. I got my Poplars. Different versions, Devil Horse, Jitterbugs, some other big plugs, topwater baits, old style frogs. Here's my collection of small swim baits, just a foot tail. I don't use these that often. I do like this kicking minnow. That kicking minnow has caught a lot of good fish and we found it at Walmart for $1.99. I said, man, I got to try that for $1.99. My wife, she saw it, and she said, you have to have this. I want you to have it. So I used it, and I immediately caught an 8-pound striper on that lure right there. So they got, of course, the smaller version of it. These other Storm. So we'll try out some of those guys. Now here's some of my bigger stick baits and broken back. And here's my little smaller crankbaits. Just got this one new from Bass Pro Shops the other night. And there's those UB40s, I think they're called. These are pike lures. Pickerel. Bass will eat them too. So here, if y'all know me at all, y'all know my favorite thing to fish with is stick baits. So there's the Smithwick. And this is the Rapala I got there. F11s here, and a Fire Tiger, original chrome. And that's F13, a little bit bigger, and the F18. That big boy right there catches a lot of big fish. You don't get too many little ones on it. So, and then of course I got all my little stick baits, slash baits, jerk bait type stuff. That's a jerk bait right there. And of course I got a couple of these fat baby 1 minus. I've never caught anything on them, but I sure want to. So that's that one box. I got pretty full. This next box right here, my wife found these on sale pretty cheap, so she got me 2 of them. What I like about them is even when they're unlatched, if you pick them up, they won't come open. If you've ever picked that tackle box up and dumped all your stuff, you know how frustrating that is. So, I like inline spinners. A lot of people don't use inline spinners. They're a very underrated lure. But my go-to is right there, the Mepps Aglia. Ouch, sharp hooks. Alright, Mepps Aglia number 3 with squirrel tail. That will catch just about any fish in the water. Pickerel really love them, so a lot of times I'll use a wire leader on there, but you catch bass and catch crappie, yellow perch, white perch, even bluegill will hit that thing. Now these I got Garrett McKenzie to make me some, and so he made me some. I really wanted the one with the red fur on it, so he made me that. So I've also got my jigs here. If y'all know me much, I'm not a great jig fisherman, but I want to be better at it. So I also got my spoons in here. This is one of Garrett McKenzie's special spoons he made me. Been catching a lot of pickerel on these things. In fact, I've caught one citation pickerel that was exactly 4 pounds. So I got a whole bunch of spares. Let's see, where are they at? Spares are in there somewhere. Right there. There's the spares. I told them to make me 5. There's my extra inline spinner. So, got different little jig heads and stuff like that. In the bottom of this box, I put a lot of the saw plastics that I'll use as trailers. Rage tail. Even got a box of tubes I've never learned to use. Havoc. Pit Boss. So I got a lot of different trailers there. So I'm still trying to learn my jig fishing. I don't know about y'all, but the only place I've seen to have luck with jig fishing is on the river, because the river doesn't have vegetation on the bottom. So a lot of the lakes around here in Virginia, they have a lot of vegetation on the bottom. So I have a hard time fishing and catching jig bass. Alright, here's the other box. Same thing, we got the 2 box. I got my collection of lipless cranks. Over here I got some of my smaller square bill crankbaits. and some of my deeper diver. I got the whole KVD lineup. Got some other ones, bait balls. You see me use them. DT10 series. Got a few of them here. And down here's my other smaller square bills. Over here, I got some of my other little bit deeper crankbaits. Right here, I want y'all to see this. My wife went online and she found these swim baits. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All 8 of those were for $13. That's a pretty good deal. So in here in the bottom, I got a lot of the soft plastics I use. Y'all know I love my green lizards. I want to show y'all this other swim bait. Look at that thing. I can't wait to throw that thing. That's a big old bait. And we got what we call shiners around here. So I think that's going to catch something. If it won't catch a good sized bass, it should catch a striper or even a giant pickerel. So, well, that was just a neat little video I wanted to do to show you my, I guess everybody calls it your arsenal, your rod and reel arsenal, and your what's in my tackle box type series. So, hope y'all enjoy this, and hopefully the weather breaks so we can go fishing. I'm going to try to go tomorrow. Hopefully we don't get rained out. So, hope y'all enjoyed the video. We'll see y'all.